May 15th to the 17th. Everybody check their calendar so that we can try. Check the calendar. All right. So, I guess I'll start. There's Will back there drawing. What you drawing, man?
My bishop and my aunt, it's their birthday today. I'm about to present it. I think they having this little event today.
Go ahead. All right. Who wants to be like Mike? Chapter 23 in the hip hop decoded by Black Dot. Tyson, Jackson, or Jordan. Wait, before you answer this question, I must warn you, page 145. Be careful what you wish for because you might get it. Most of us would love to be like Mike, to be considered as the greatest athlete or entertainer of our time, and to be adored by millions of fans all over the world. To be like Mike would also mean being the richest of your profession. The question I should be asking is, who wouldn't want to be like Mike? But to be like Mike has its downsides as well. It involves scandals, controversy, accusations, and allegations. To be like Mike is to be a convicted rapist. I forgot about that. An alleged child molester.
Wow. A
compulsive gambler, and a womanizer. To be like Mike is to be trapped in an image of perfection that if you attempt to escape from and be a normal person, you're scrutinized and demoralized. To be like Mike is to have all of your shortcomings magnified by 1,000 times in the eyes of the public. So you will still want to be like Mike. To be like Mike is to have the media intrude into your personal life 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. To be like Mike is not being able to take your family out to eat in a public place without being mobbed by obsessed fans who feel just because they support you, you're obligated to sign an autograph. To be like Mike is to carry a great portion of the American economy on your shoulders, based on the products you endorse or what trends you set that corporate America can capitalize on. To be like Mike is to be human with many faults, but have every man, woman, and child worship your image more than God itself. All right, to be like Mike. Any comments so far? Questions?
Are they talking about celebrity? Are they talking about celebrity or just the insight of the average person?
Well, they're talking about the three Mikes. He mentioned Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. All three of these individuals were at the top of their game, especially during the time when he wrote this, because remember, this book is about 10 years old. Well, maybe not Jordan. I think Jordan retired earlier than that, but Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson too. But all the Mikes were legends, and they said, who want to be like Mike? You know what I'm saying? So he giving you some insight into what it is like being like Mike. I mean, because any mistake that any one of the Mikes made, everybody knew about it. Mike Tyson went to jail for rape. Michael Jackson was accused of being a pedophile. Michael Jordan was a womanizer and a gambler. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything they did was being watched. And the question he's asking is, who want to be like that? Would you want to be like that?
And he lists all the upsides and the downsides.
The upsides and the downsides.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? There's other downsides he ain't mentioned, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Anybody want to read the next paragraph, please?
I read it.
Go ahead.
Are you sure you want to be like Mike? Well, as strange as it may seem, many of us, especially hip-hoppers, prove that we are like Mike, just not the greater half of Mike. How many rappers are convicts, murderers, hustlers, and players, and we applaud them for keeping it real. In fact, two of the greatest rappers of all time, Tupac and Biggie, fall under these categories, and nobody seemed to have a problem with that. Yet, when Tyson, Jackson, or Jordan make the mistakes of showing that they are all human, we make their lives in hell. At times, we all fall short or make mistakes in our quest for greatness. It's human, so every individual who's made mistakes, but would not like to be judged solely on those mishaps on their journey to greatness, should stand up and shout, "I am Michael Jordan. I am Michael Jackson. I am Mike Tyson." Perhaps this will give a whole new meaning to the words "like Mike," if I could be like Mike.
Somebody read the next paragraph, please.
I got it. The lives of these three superstars seem to mirror each other in more ways than one. Over the last decade or so, when one is triumphant, they all appear to be triumphant. And when one is going through hard times, they all seem to share in each other's pain or suffer from similar consequences. Is this just
coincidence?
Oh, is this just coincidence, or are they destined to share the same fate? In 1990, Mike Tyson was a heavyweight champion of the world with an astonishing record of 37-0, with 33 KOs. In 1991, Michael Jordan won the first of his 6 NBA titles and was by far the best player in the world. Also in 1991, Michael Jackson signed the largest recording contract ever with Sony Records, which validated his position as king of pop. They were clearly the best of the best, but just as their careers peaked at the same time, they hit valleys. At the same time as well, their lives began to mimic the stock market, with many ups and downs along the way. The downfall started with the arrest of the conviction of Mike Tyson for rape in 1992. After losing his title in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history in 1990 to Buster Douglas, that era of being invincible was gone, which led to some bad decisions by Tyson's, resulting in a 3-year prison term. In 1993, Michael Jordan's personal life took center stage as the media began to have a field day with his bad gambling habits with shady characters like Richard Esquinas and James Slim Bowler, whom Jordan had testified under oath that he had lost over $57,000. Jordan had lied earlier about even knowing Bowler to cover up the losses. Subsequently, two unidentified sources see Mike gambling in Atlantic City the night before Game 2 of the playoff series with the New York Knicks. To add injury to insult, Jordan loses his father, who was murdered while sleeping in his car off the side of the highway in North Carolina. Just when it looked like it couldn't get worse, the father of the 13-year-old boy files charges against Michael Jackson for child abuse in December 1993. These charges rocked fans all over the world and forced Jackson to go on the air in a live broadcast to deny these charges. He eventually settled out of court for a multi-million-dollar amount, but says payment was not an admission of guilt.
Any comments?
It was all right behind each other.
All right behind each other. He's trying to, he's showing the similarities between them, the rise and the fall. But let's don't keep on going. The media was having a field day with Mike, and Mike. The saga will continue over the next 5 to 6 years as Jordan will retire from the NBA for an unsuccessful stint at baseball. Return to win 3 more titles and retire again. Jackson would marry, then divorce Lisa Marie Presley, marry again, have 2 children with an unknown white woman, and put out 2 unsuccessful albums in the process. Not to be outdone, Tyson returned from prison as a Muslim and was acting other than a righteous man, as he would be involved in brawl after brawl outside the ring, and more women would step forward with allegation of sexual abuse. Yet, once again, this trio would rise in the face of adversity in an attempt to reclaim their positions as the best of the best. In 2001, Tyson, Jackson, and Jordan launched comebacks at or around the same time. After a couple of warm-up fights, Tyson appeared to be in tip-top shape, but lost his comeback fight to Lennox Lewis. As weak as the heavyweight division is, I still believe Mike Tyson will be the heavyweight champion of the world once more. Well, that was proved wrong. because you're bringing us back up to now. Jordan returned to the hardwood as a Washington Wizard to scratch an itch he said it had been bothering him for a while. Even though he said this comeback is for the love of the game, he never got the Wizard into the playoffs, which would have possibly been his greatest achievement as a player. Michael Jackson returned with a new album entitled Invincible. The album was doing well by normal artist standard, but it was a failure in terms of Michael Jackson's standards, and failed to reestablish Michael as the king of pop. Now, as if on cue, all three of them have fallen from grace once more, as Jackson barely won an acquittal in his recent trial after being accused of being a pedophile for the second time. As much as Jordan has done for the NBA, he can't even acquire part ownership of the league that he helped build, and Tyson is dead broke and lost another attempt at a comeback as he quit in the middle of a fight against a bum whose name is not even worth a mention. Could this possibly be the end for the three? We can only hope that Tyson's heart is made of iron. Jordan proves to be a wizard off the court and with his shoe company and other business ventures as well as he was on the court. And Jackson shows the world that he is still invincible. After beating the current charges that he was facing, only time will tell. What's in the name?
He wants to read.
Who? Go ahead, dude.
Many names carry vibrations or special meanings that define a person's life or give it purpose. According to the Catholic religion, the name Michael signifies who is like to God. Who is like to God. This was also the war cry of the Archangel Saint Michael, and the good angels in the battle fought in heaven against Satan and his followers. Holy Scripture describes Saint Michael as one of the chief princes and leader of the forces of heaven in the triumph over the powers of hell. In essence, this is a war being fought since the beginning of time. Ever since Satan and his followers were cast down to earth, they have ruled this realm and everything of material, and have not stopped the assault on the Michaels of the world. In fame, fortune, and women are tools used by Satan to weaken his prey. Then Tyson, Jackson, and Jordan are forever indebted. This ongoing war may also explain the character assassination each of our princes face every day. At times it appears to be a big game to Satan, who builds Michael up, only to destroy him again in a slow, torturous manner, proving that he and only he is the owner of Michael's mind, body, and soul.
The uncharacteristic behavior and actions of the three Michaels can lead one to believe that greater forces control their lives. Michael Jordan plays for the Washington Wizards, and the NBA was in decline in his absence. Is smiling as well, leaving me to ask the question, who's really casting the spells? Mike Tyson has been reduced to an animal-like cannibal who feeds on the blood of innocent humans, but who's really being sacrificed? And right before our eyes, Michael Jackson is transforming and mutating into an alien-like being. Are we being controlled by forces out of this world? Further proof that this could be the work of Satan can be found in numerology of the name Michael, which adds up to the number 6. M equals 13 plus I equals 9 plus C equals 3 plus H equals 8 plus A equals 1, E equals 5, L equals 12 equals 51, 5 plus 1 equals 6. Michael times 3 equals 666. In heaven, Michael won the war against Satan. and his followers. Let's hope history repeats itself here on earth for the good of all mankind.
Which Michael?
All three.
All three Mikes. At least that's the piece. Any questions, comments about this chapter?
I didn't understand the equation, but I mean.
All right, cool. That's what I'm trying to get the board over.
So on the equation with the M equals,
It spells his name.
it spells his name out, and then each letter, it is the number in which that letter is in the alphabet, where that letter falls in the alphabet.
All right.
And so then they add it all up, and then you get 551, but then 5 plus 1 equals 6. So they said if you take into account that there's 3 Michaels, then that's going to be 666.
All right. I understand.
No.
Right. Numerology. All right, let's look at the numbers. So, because we're working on some Vedic math, so this leads right into the Vedic math. So, he's talking about the numerology. Why is my... All right, all right. So, in the numerology, the way numerology works is that each letter has a number. Each letter has a numerical value, right? So now, do y'all remember the conversation where we talked about, like, there's only 9 numbers? Y'all remember that conversation? What do I mean there's only 9 numbers?
All numbers come from 0 to 9.
No,
Or 1 to
1
9.
0, we don't really consider a number. 0 is more of a idea, a being, right? It's nothing. And one of the hardest things to think about, because I got a brother who has his eye poked out. I got 2 brothers. It's kind of freaky. I got 2 brothers whose eyes been poked out. And one day I was sitting down talking to him, and I'm like, they was talking between each other. And I asked him, I said, man, what do y'all see out of your eye? They said, we don't see nothing. And, I'm talking to both of them. I'm trying to understand, you see darkness? No, we don't see nothing. I said, what do you mean? He said, it's not like when you close your eyes. We see nothing. I'm like, what's nothing? How do you see nothing? What's nothing? It's a difficult concept to really think about. You know what I'm saying? It's like absolutely, positively nothing. 0 is from which everything comes from. Man, what's going on here? Help me, man. You was just right. I know I was just right. You broke.
Why you break it, Deshaun?
How you see that?
His eye is gone. There's no eye there.
So 0 is if we was to talk about the Big Bang. Y'all familiar with the Big Bang Theory? 0 is where everything was before. Alright? So it's like boom. Then you had a Big Bang, and what came out the explosion first? I mean, if we was to look at it in numerical fashion, what would be the explosion, which is the number 1. Alright. So each number has a representation, and as soon as I'm able to get this thing to work, we're going to look at that and get into the math. Ooh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. Did it finally come up? Yeah. All right. So we got 0. So we don't even count 0. All right. But all the numbers always trying to get back to 0. Because for each number to go to another level, what does it need to go to the next level? Like, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we got what?
10.
What is 10?
2 numbers to add it together.
Huh?
It's just 2 numbers.
It's 2. What? It's 1 and 0. In order for the numbers to go to another level, they always got to go back to 0. So all the numbers are always trying to perfect themselves, or always trying to get back to 0. So that's when we looking at numerology, we got to really start looking at that. So when we look at what he's talking about as far as the numbers, every letter has a number that represents it. So you can look at your name and you can break down the number in your name. And what the numerologists say, if you understand the number in your name, you have a better understanding of yourself, because each number has a personality. For example, I told y'all the personality of 9. 9 is the most conceited number. You know why? Because 9 always try to reflect itself. When you do a multiplication with 9, 9 always try to bring itself back. 9 times 1 is what?
9.
18.
All right, 9 times 2 is what?
18.
Which is what?
1 and
1 and 8 is what?
9.
9 times 3.
27.
2 and 7 is what?
9.
9 times 4.
36.
Which is what? 3 plus 6 is what?
9.
Every number you multiply 9 by, no matter what number you choose, it's always going to bring itself back. 9 is always trying to look at itself. Every number has a pattern. Every number has a certain personality. And if you understand that personality or that vibration, you get a better understanding of the number. So when you start looking at names and you start looking at words, words have 2 qualities in numerology. The first quality is the external, just like us, right? We have an external body, a body that everybody can see and everybody can recognize, right?
To an ant, we inside out.
Huh?
To an ant, we are inside out.
I don't know. Explain.
Ant's skull is on the outside.
Oh, the ants. Okay, you talking about the hard part of their body on the outside, right?
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to make is this. Every word has a body, and that body has an external. All of the consonants in the alphabet are external. They represent the external. So when you looking at a word, like he used Michael, right?
Yeah.
When you're looking at Michael, all of the external qualities of the name are held in the consonants. All right?
All right.
So when you're trying to understand a number, and when you're trying to understand something, using numerology, you understand that this represents the outside of it. But now, the soul of a word is in all the vowels. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. So
Can
when
you say that again? You said the soul of a number is in the
word.
soul of the word is in the vowel.
And what did you say before that
I don't know.
about the consonants?
Consonants are the body. That's the external. That's why when you look at some ancient languages, they never included vowels in sacred words. So you'll be reading in some sacred scriptures and they'll talk about. Anybody ever seen this before?
The Yahweh?
Yahweh. They spell Yahweh like this because they do not want to expose the soul of the word. Anybody ever seen this?
Kimped.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Kemet.
Kemet. They never showed the soul of the word.
Kimmy.
Go ahead.
Would that mean acronyms come for that?
Acronyms is more of a modern thing because it's not to protect the soul of the word, because this is what our ancestors taught. Our ancestors taught that when you know the soul of something, you can control it. So in ancient times, they used to teach you how to hide the soul of the most important things in your culture. Kemet is the land, the name of the land. So you had 3 different ways you spell. You go to Kemet, it's 3 different ways that you spell Kemet. Nobody really knows how you really spell it. Some people spell it K-H-A-M-A-T. Then you got K-H-I-M-A-T. Then you got K-E-M-E-T. Then you got K-A-M-A-E-T. Depending on who you're talking to, you got all these different ways to spell it. The soul of the word is hidden so that nobody could ever truly get control of it. In the Jewish tradition, Yahweh, they never ever spell it with all of the letters. They always take out the soul of the word. So if you want to protect the soul of something, you just hide it. Now, let's look at what our brother was talking about, black dot. In the alphabet, every letter has a number.
What time are you coming?
Oh, I see what you said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
He's not.
See?
Yeah.
Every letter has a number value. So now, in numerology, whenever you're looking at a number, you always want to reduce it down to the single digit. So if I have a number like 123, what is that? What is that number?
1, 2, 3.
6.
6. Number like 567. 567. What is it? 19. Is it 19? Or what? 19 is what?
9. It'll be 9 because it's
11 and 7 is 18. It'll break down to be 9. Right? So you break down the numbers to the individual values. Right? Each number has a personality. Each number has a pattern. There's certain things you can read. It's sort of like astrology. So when people start using the numerology and you start looking at it, you start seeing certain patterns with people and numbers. Right? So you break down the word Michael. You look at the word Michael, you get the total number. The total number of Michael is 6. But then you have the exterior part of that number, then you have the internal part of the number. How do we find that? For example, let me use one of y'all names. Somebody give me a name.
Melvin.
For me. Oh, okay.
Somebody was quick. Hold on.
Quicker than me, that's for sure.
All right. Give me a name.
Melvin.
You said who?
Melvin.
Melvin. All right. Help me. M is what?
13.
So it'll be what?
4.
E is what?
5.
L is what?
3.
B is what?
4.
I is what?
9.
N is what? 5.
5. How'd you know?
Been doing this for you.
All
Alright. So we take those, we add them up. 4 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 9 plus 5 equals what?
Oh no.
30.
It's going to be 12.
Is it 30? Put the calculator down. We don't do calculators here.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Nine.
16.
Some people to put their phones away because people got
I didn't.
calculators on their
9.
phones.
Yes, 3. Now check this out. For those of y'all, once we start getting into the Vedic math, you're going to learn, like, for example, when you find 9, when you find 9s in a number, right? When you find 9s in a number, you don't even have to add when you break it down because the number that's left is going to be the one that's there because 9, when you add it to the number, it's just going to bring back itself. So you can eliminate all the numbers and be like, the total number is going to be 3. So we can add it up, add them all up, but since I see those 9s, I know that there's just the 3 left. Now, that's the whole number. The whole number. So a Melvin, somebody with the name Melvin, 3 in our system means what? They're a good talker. They're good at developing relationships. They're like a diplomat. Right? But now, let's go a little bit deeper into the name of Melvin because the 3 just give you the overall qualities. That's like buying a car but not checking the motor. Let's check how this car works. A Melvin, we look on the exterior. We got a 4, a 3, a 4, and a 5. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 5 is 16. Externally, the thing with a Melvin that you might see is a 7 is what? In our system is what?
Study, rest, and perfection.
Study, rest, and perfection. Melvin is a studious person. He might be that weird dude. Externally, he look kind of, he might be a little bit different, a little bit eccentric. But it appears that he is very intelligent. All right? He's very intelligent. Study, rest, and perfection. This dude is constantly trying to improve himself through study. He might be kind of lazy. He might be kind of laid back. You know what I'm saying? But he's somebody that might just be a little bit different because 7 don't fit in like everything else. So now, that's his external. So when people first meet Melvin, they won't see the number 3. They're going to see the 7 first because the 7 represents his external. So now let's go to Melvin's soul. So What do we need to add to the 7 to get a 3?
What do we need to add to it?
Yeah.
We're allowed to add negative numbers. Alright, you have to subtract the 4.
Well,
We're not
remember,
allowed
it's
to
only
subtract
9 numbers.
add negative numbers.
Y'all, it's only 9 numbers. Y'all see, because this is the piece, man. The word 9, if we add 9 to 3, we would get 12. That would give us 3. Maybe. You see where y'all see how he did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I asked because this is the external. This 3 right here is made up of 2 numbers. So we know that the external number, or the number that the world sees, is a 7. I asked, what do we have to add to the 7 to get a 3? But y'all thinking in the way that they want us to think. Because the issue is, if I'm trying to press you, if I'm trying to hold you down, I want you to stay confused. So I got to give you infinite amount of options. I got to keep you busy, right? Can I add negative numbers? I got to look at all these different concepts. Oh, it's impossible to get a 3 out of a 7. Because it's too many. No, it's only 9 numbers. Life is very simple. Once you got the rules, once you got the principles, once you understand, life is very simple. It's just their job to keep it complicated for us. We start overthinking it. All right? So he said add a 9 today. If we add a 9 to 7, what do we get? 9 plus 7 is 16. And 1 plus 6 is 7. So that ain't going to bring us that. It'll give us a 7, but it won't give us a 3. What can we add to that 7? 5. 7 plus 5 equals what? 12. And 1 plus 2 equals what?
3.
There we go. So the soul of Melvin is a 5. Now, let's look at it. All of the vowels are the soul. So we got a 5 and a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Which comes up to be 14, which breaks down to be
5.
So that's the soul.
That's deep.
What's a 5? In our system, 5 is what? Anybody know? That ain't the first 9 questions?
That's towards the end.
Huh?
That's towards the end.
That's what? No, that ain't towards the end.
It's like middle end.
5 is freedom. So externally, studious brother, laid back, might be a little bit different, might dress a little bit different, got his own style of how he do things. You know what I'm saying? He might have a green streak in his hair. You know what I'm saying? He does things differently. But internally, what's really driving him, the part that the world don't see in him, is that he has a constant thirst for freedom. He wants to express himself. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to express himself in every way that he possibly can. And he's going to want to be heard. So whether they express, you know what I'm saying? So, huh? What?
This is just so deep.
It's simple though.
I mean, because he definitely has that issue, and he does like to express himself any way he can. And so this is just so, I don't know, deep.
The issue is, if you can look at a person and by his numbers tell what he's going to be, the most powerful thing that you can do for a child or a person is to give them a what? Huh? Give them a name. What was the first in the Torah tradition or in the Bible? What was the first power that God gave Adam, supposedly? If you believe in that. Anybody know?
Name.
Huh?
Name.
Name what?
Body, baby.
No. What was the first gift, the first power that he received? Anybody know?
That he created him?
Yeah, he created him. That was a gift, definitely.
Garden.
Huh?
Garden.
Nah.
A
He
life.
did give him a name.
A life?
A woman?
Nope. He
Soul.
gave him the power to name everything in the garden. Supposedly, all the animals, all the trees, Adam gave the name to. When you name something, you have power over it. That's why in ancient civilizations, they would never give you the name to their sacred things. They would never give you the name to their deities. And if they didn't know you, they wouldn't give you their name. Because they believed that when you had a name of something, you could control it. Because in the name lies the soul. So when we naming our friends and we naming our children, we naming our babies, we got to be a little bit more delicate with that, because naming is a science. Because you're calling certain qualities out. When I name you, I'm calling certain qualities out. So if the name says I'm calling madness out, what I'm going to get?
Madness.
Or how I'm going to get madness. What if my name don't mean nothing?
You ain't gonna get nothing.
Is it impossible for it not to mean nothing?
I heard a bunch of names that I ask people what they mean don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I could break it down and look at it like
well,
this.
if you're looking at sounds and vibrations, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, seriously, like, so you still calling out characters when you call their name.
Mm-hmm. So
just because it doesn't have a traditional meaning or whatever, we're calling it out, and then based on their character, yeah.
Now, our ancestors believed that the name went a long way in shaping the character.
Yeah.
So even if the name don't mean anything, you can add the meaning to it.
I believe that.
You can go add the meaning to it, but when we go back to the sciences and we start looking at it, we will see that what that person has become will line up with the sciences. It'll line up with the sciences. So if you really want to know somebody, sometimes it might be good to kind of look at some of this stuff. They call it, whatever they want to call it, right? All right. So now, let's break off of this real quick. So far as the numerology, so when he broke down his name, I just want to make sure that you understand that he was using numerology and how it works just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So in our system, we have a meaning for each of the numbers. 0 is basically the unknown, the hidden, or God. 1 is interdependence. 2 is cooperation. 3 is communication.
Where do I
4
get
is
this
order.
at? You're going fast.
Huh?
Where do I get this at?
Question 26.
It's question 26 is on there. And either it's myth or lore. I don't know what I call it. But
I think we would do good.
so I'll finish there. Alright, now Vedic math. Miss Tracy ain't show up. I know she probably listening. Alright, so what she was gonna come in, she was gonna work with y'all on doubling. She was working with the numbers 2, 4, 8. Alright, so when you multiply something by 2, we're going to do some review real quick, then I'm going to get into what I wanted to cover. When we multiply something by 2, what do we do to the number that we multiply? We double it. Right? Easy, right? When we multiply by 2, we double it, right?
24 to 48.
Hopefully she show up, because I didn't really get to review this. So, we know that 2 and 4 have a special relationship, right? 2, 4, well, let me put it this way. 2 is the square, 4 is the square of 2, or is 2 the square of 4? I don't know.
Let's just say 4 is 2 is the square root of 4. Let's just say that.
Right, 2 is the square root of 4. So when I multiply the same number by 4, what am I doing to it?
Multiplying it by 4.
Yeah, I'm multiplying it by 4, but to make it simple, I'm doing what to it? If I multiply it by 2, I'm doubling it twice. You see that? It makes it a little bit simple when you're doing math. So you look at a number, you know that if you're multiplying it by 4 and 4 is anywhere in that equation, when you multiply it by 4, you're just doubling it twice. So you can look at that, you can look at it and get an answer real quick. So you look at it, you got 48, then after that you double 48, right?
96.
Alright, so what happens when I do it by 8?
You double on it.
We double it 4.
Huh?
Double it 4 times.
not 4,
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Right?
The
Because it's
reason why
2
he's
times 2
square.
times 2. Huh?
The reason why it's square. Originally. Instead of looking at exponentially.
So 8 times 24, we would double it 3 times. So we go from 24 to 48 to 96 to what?
192.
So when we're looking at and we start running into some of these problems and we're doing multiplication, if I remember this is one of the keys that make it a little bit simpler for us, right? So let's do some review. So last time we was doing Vedic math, I want y'all to get this, man, because this, when I ran into this, it blew my mind at how simple they make this stuff. So we're looking at a number like 24 times 35. Do y'all remember the pattern? You weren't here. You weren't here. Anybody remember the pattern? It's vertical.
Vertical, crosswise, add vertical.
Vertical, crosswise, add vertical. So when I'm looking at this problem, to eliminate some of the steps, what I would do is I would do my first vertical. So I can start from any side when I'm doing this type of math, right? So y'all want me to go from left to right or right to left?
Left to right.
Left to right. All right. So 4 times 5 is what?
20.
All right. Now this is what I got to make sure when you're doing Vedic math. Vedic math, you got to really understand and know the difference between ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Because a lot of people don't even understand that. They do math, but they don't really understand it. So when I multiply 4 times 5, what do I get? 20, which is what?
A 10 place.
It's 2 10s. So would I put a 10 here? Because this is the what place?
The ones place.
The ones place. So what would go here?
0.
0. So now down here, I'm practicing these at home with Cleve, so I'm trying to practice holding them in my head. So I'm putting that 2 down there. So then we're gonna go crosswise. 2 times 5 is what?
10.
Then we got 4 times 3 is what?
12.
So we got 10 plus 12, which equals what?
100.
No, 22.
22.
22. 22 what?
10s.
Which, would I put 22 right here, or what would I put here?
2.
I'll put 2 because 22 tens is 220, right? So actually I got 2 hundreds and 2 tens. So 2 of those hundreds will go over here, and the 2 tens will go right there. 2 times 6 is what? 2 times 3 is what?
12.
6.
6.
I put the 6 right here. And it's actually 6 what? It's 600. So now all I got to do is add all the numbers that's loose. 840 is the answer. 840. You see it? I got 2 hundreds, 2 extra hundreds, 2 extra tens, and 0. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
So this math is designed for you to do it quickly and do it in your head. Actually, you're supposed to start from the left because the most important thing is finding out the big numbers first. See, in the system, the way they got us doing math right now, we're doing everything from the small end. We start with the small numbers and work our way up. In the Vedic math system, because I wanted quick answers, I start with the big end. Right? Because, well, I ain't going to get into all that. But it kind of helps me understand how we deal with money, how we deal with a lot of problems in our lives. And I'm looking at how wealthy people do it, and I'm looking at how we do it. We're sitting around getting stuck in the small things while other people are living their lives dealing with the big things. We getting slowed down by the ones. I want to be slowed down by the thousands. I'm more concerned about the thousands and the 100,000s and the millions, and I want to make sure that the young people we working with is doing that. So I want y'all to work me through this problem real quick. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
You gonna do it, Cleve? 72 times 33.
Question mark.
Question mark what?
I don't know how to do it.
I don't do it.
So they want you to do it. First you
Explain
gotta do
it.
vertical.
Explain it to him. What you gonna do first?
First, I do 3 times 2. That's
Mom, I do it like this. I don't do it like that.
Is he right? So now I gotta calculate.
0 or 6?
That's 6. 2376.
No, it's not right.
What is it?
Not right. 2376.
It's 2376. Oh,
Yeah.
is it 2376?
That's
Yeah.
it. That's right.
Oh, that is right. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
I did the wrong thing.
All right.
Can he walk us through this slow one more
I'm
time?
walking
Can I do it?
No, real quick. I'm gonna.
Can I do it, Mom?
You're not even doing it the way that he's teaching us.
I didn't even finish the thing.
Let's do it from this end. Let's start from this end. Just to confuse you a little bit. 2 times 3 is what?
2 times 3 is 6.
So it's 6 what?
No chance.
It's 600s. Right?
You're looking at 20 times 30.
We talking about 20 times 30. So we know if we just take away and we just do 20 times 30, we know we're going to have 600. So we know that we got at least 600s. This starts with the 6. Right? 6. Then we're going to do crosswise, which is 2 plus 3. 2 times 3 plus
6.
7 times 3.
27.
Which comes up to be 27. So we
7
know
times 3.
27. How are we going to do that? We got 27. We got 27 tens, so that would be 2 extra hundreds and a 7. Alright?
How do I know to put my 7?
Because you got to identify the place. Identify the place. You know that when you do 2 times 3 and 7 times 3, you're going to have at least 10s. You're doing at least 10s. Let's go from the other end. Let's keep it at the other end. Let's keep it at the other end. 7 times 3 is what? 7 times 3 is what?
21.
Now, if y'all going to do this type of math, y'all got to know the
I
basic
wrote
number.
the wrong
Huh?
numbers. I wrote the wrong numbers now. I thought
No,
we
you
were
didn't.
doing-
No, I started from the end, but I'm going
No,
back.
I did the same number you did before, 72 and 33. I didn't realize we did 27 and 33.
21. Then we got 2 times 3 plus 7 times 3, which is 6 and 21, which is 27. Put the 7. Then we got 2 times 3, which is 6. 1, 9, 8. 891. That's right?
27, 30.
Now the goal is to get to where you don't have to do that. You just do all the math in your head. Because automatically I got a good idea of what the first number at least going to be, and I know exactly what the last number is going to be, so I eliminate a lot of the problem already. Alright? So we worked on this last time. Now, let's take it to another level.
Wait, what do you mean by another level?
Just, we're going to answer that. So all the numbers are seeking completion.
I ain't even finished the first level yet, so.
Alright? All the numbers are seeking completion. Right? So when we get up to numbers and we got like, because we did this last time too, 98 times 97. We could do the crosswise. And because we could work with hundreds, we know simply that by working with hundreds, we can make this problem a lot simpler. So we know that 98 is how many deficient of 100? So we know that 100 has how many zeros? So I need I need two numbers over here. So I got a 0, 2, and it's minus. How many numbers is 97 deficient from?
Minus 0, 3.
Minus 0, 3. Multiply these two. A negative 2 times negative 3 equals what?
6.
Positive 6.
Positive 6.
0, 6. Then I go on, I take 98 and subtract 3. And what I get?
95.
That's your answer. Check it.
Gina checking it for me.
Gina just pushing buttons. So this is a different form of the multiplication. But it's a lot simpler. And it don't matter how high the numbers get.
How'd you do the last step?
Hold on. We're going to run through it one more time. Man, Deshaun, you and these contraptions, man. It ain't working, bruh.
Cause you like tapping the edge.
And you gotta tap inside the side.
I gotta tap inside the circle?
Yeah.
Oh, tap the middle. There you go. See it, tap the middle.
Alright. So, let's do 9. Right? How many zeros do 1,000 have in it?
3.
3. So we know we're going to need 3 numbers over here. 997 is how much deficient of 1,000?
3.
3.
0, 3.
0, 3.
0, 0, 3. Sorry.
How about 989?
11.
11.
0, 1, 1.
Y'all got it?
Mm-hmm.
We multiply these two. We get what?
33.
4. 33.
33.
Then either we take 11 from 997 or 3 from 989. Your choice. They both gonna come up the same. What is it?
Minus 3.
986.
Yes.
That's your answer.
Whoa.
Can I see it? Alright, so now we start doing numbers like this. There's one more rule that y'all need to know before so I can move on. Alright. All from 9 last from 10. Everybody say all from 9 last from 10.
All from 9 last from 10.
Y'all know when you're doing subtraction. Excuse me. I'm glad you excited. I'm glad you excited. I'll let you do it fine. But he was crying last week because I was making him do this. Now he wanted to show it off, see? Now you know how to do it, you want to show it off. Alright, all from 9 last from 10.
All from 9.
Alright, so when we do subtraction, like for example, when we trying to see how close 89, let's say 87, how close is 87 to 100?
3.
It's 13, right? So let's take it a little bit higher. How close is that to 1,000?
48.
Is it 48?
No, crap.
38.
48.
It's 50.
348, right?
48.
Oh, from
How did you do that?
I just took 4 tens and then 8 ones away from the next 100 and then 3 from 1,000 from the hundreds place of 7.
It's gonna be 2 though.
When we did it, I asked the question, if we do it the regular way, we borrowed from that 1,000, right? First it'll be 10, then we have to make it 9, then we have to make it 9, then we have to make it 10. All from 9 last from 10.
All from 9 last.
2, 3, 8. So if I already know that, why do I have to write it out? All from 9 last from 10. So when we doing these big problems, and we go, let's say 972 times 999, right? I know it's going to be 3 zeros, 0, 0, 1, 972. I got to figure that out. All I got to do is subtract all from 9 last from 10. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 7 is 2. 10 minus that is 8. So it's 0, 0, 2, 8. I mean, my fault.
Zero,
Negative 0,
2,
2, 8. So now I can just work through my math problem. So, alright. Miss Fitz ain't here, so I'm going to leave it alone.
No, you my aunt. That's what you want.
Alright. Any questions, comments? Anybody want to do a problem?
Why did you put the $9.99 was on the bottom, correct?
No, it's on top.
Oh, well, am I right? Okay. I did it.
Questions, comments? Alright, let's move on.
Can you do the name thing one more time?
The name thing? Alright. What name? Free session, huh? Now, when you're doing your name, do the whole name. Now, y'all learn how to do it. Did y'all see how I made the graph?
Can I write it in a different language?
No, let's deal with the language we in.
Alright.
Alright, but so that everybody see how I made the graph.
Yeah.
Just do a 1 to 9, and then just do the alphabet like that. Y'all got it?
Yes.
Alright, so we got the shine. Spell it.
EESHAW1.
Get with it, man. Get with it. Alright, so. D is a what?
4, 5, 9.
No.
18.
Is that right?
Yep.
Alright, so now you gotta add them up. I add them up for you too?
How do I add them up? Oh, that's the thing I don't know how to do.
What you mean you don't know how to do it?
I'm saying,
9,
I'm just
9,
like,
18,
I'm looking for 9s,
20,
right?
30.
No, you don't. No.
30,
Now, hold on.
3.
Now, I just used that as an example. Go through the whole thing until you really understand the thing about the 9s. If you don't understand the thing about the 9s, don't worry about it. Add it up. That's
30,
more than 20. Dude.
30. 9 and 18, 19, 29.
Plus 16. Give me this.
29.
Eliminate those.
34.
That's what you like.
With 5 left.
Is it 2? No, do the
thought it
whole
was a
number. I
double
want the whole
one.
number.
It's 29.
It's
Is it
29.
Which is
29.
11, which is 2.
I thought you did something separate with double ones, though.
Plus 6 equals 30.
You say who?
I thought double ones meant something separate. Than, like,
Wait.
11. Now, there are master numbers. 11, 22, 33, 44, which means something else. Then also you have sacred numbers, which are a little bit more sacred, like 19, 13. Certain numbers have certain meaning, and you get into that, but that we won't have to worry about that right now. So his total name breaks down to be a 29, which breaks down to be what, Deshaun? 11. If you're looking for the significance of the 11, we can talk about that. That's a master number. Then we got, which breaks down to number 2 because 11 really don't exist. Alright? All the numbers above 9 don't exist. They are just different forms and shapes of the first 9. Period. Alright, so it's a number 2. Deshaun, the great cooperator, diplomat. Alright? Somebody who is able to help bring order out of chaos. Somebody that knows how to deal with it. That's what a number 2 does. A peace bringer. 2 is in our system is what?
Cooperation.
Right. Number cooperation. Alright, so now let's go a little bit deeper than that. So your 2 is made up of, no, let's start with the consonants first. Let's look at your external. D, S, H, W, N. What does that add up to? Just the consonants, the external numbers.
B plus 1 plus
Why is he in there?
H.
He accidentally circled it.
W plus
I came on 23. Anybody else?
5,
I still don't know how to do that.
20, 23.
Don't know how to do the math.
No, I don't know how to do it.
23, 2 plus 3 is 5.
Oh, hold up.
2 plus 3 is 7.
We got 4, plus 1, 5, plus 8 is 13, plus 5 is 18, plus 5 more is 23. 23, which breaks down to be 5. Sean's external, freedom. Seeking freedom. People look at him and they might think that he's somebody who's just trying to be free. Just trying to enjoy himself. Just trying to relax. He don't like chains. He want to be free. This is the external, right? So this might be the vision that this is what you send off. This is the vibe that's sent off from you. But we know that it equals 2. So what do we got to add? What number do we have to add to number 5 to get it to be a 2?
7.
7, that'd be so high.
6.
Oh.
6. What is 6, Sean? Family. Deep inside, you yearn for a family. You strive to maintain family, you build families, you hold stuff together. That's really how you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's a contradiction going, and maybe it's a war between your internal and your external. But this is what drives you, family. That's why I pick on you the way I do, and you still get shit done. You understand what I'm saying?
That's deep.
Family. Not only external family, but building that. That is your drive, as far as your first name. We ain't last name and your middle name. But this is one of the keys right here. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
You won't leave me alone?
Let's do Gina's name.
Any other question?
Can we do Gina's?
Who?
Can we do hers?
Who?
Nah, I was just kidding. Let's do mine real quick.
Who?
Mine. Mine is not too long.
I'll do mine. It's only 7 letters.
Mine is only 8 letters.
Mine is only 5.
Mine is only 6.
Listen, if y'all want to spend the rest of the time doing numbers, I don't mind. Right. So if y'all want to do your names, I don't care. I mean, long as we conversating. If y'all getting something out of it, I ain't got nowhere to go. My stuff could wait till next week because I wrote the book.
Is there any way that we can maybe...
Huh?
P-R-O-P-H-E-T.
Oh, probably.
Okay. Okay.
But who was first? I'll get yours next. Somebody else want to go. Kabisi, go ahead.
K-H double A.
Gina?
M-I-A.
I'm on the radio. You about to have me go to jail. Go and sit down.
Go to jail?
Go ahead. Prophet. P.
Wow.
What?
You said it's
wow. Somebody hypnotized you. Kabisi, go ahead, Kabisi.
K-H. Lowercase capital A. This is 2 A's in my name.
2 A's?
Yeah, 2 A's.
In
my SI.
But yeah, be
you won't get deep inside of me until you won't even.
You say who? I mean, the camera vibration of the letter.
The name
so we got
K-H.
2 A's.
So that's how you spell it.
N-I-S-I. That's how you spell it.
Got it?
Yes.
All right. K is what?
2.
A is
H. H is 8.
A is 1.
Okay. He got it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Dang, my whole name is in binary code.
All names are.
7 different names.
Yeah, binary means 2. So, do the math. I gotta do the math too? You're moving slow on this math, man. I want give me the total number first.
Total number
with the 9s in there.
36.
36. Is that right?
9, 9, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26. I can't see. 26, 28, and 8, 36.
Yep, 36. 36. Right.
36. Completion.
Let's hear it.
Mature for your age.
I think I'm a 9.
9 is maturity. 9 in our system means what? Who remembers? 9 is completion. All right, 9 is the number that looks back over everything that you have done in your past life. So in a sense, you are an old soul. You would, people would perceive you as far as the whole you, right? But you are an old soul. A lot of people would consider, would want to talk with you because you might have information that sometimes you don't even know where you get the information from. You pick up on stuff very quick. A 9 is complete. You're able to pick up on stuff and you have a good heart, so you're always going to try to help other people. So now let's break it down.
All right.
Let's go a little bit farther. So let's look at your externals. Your externals are the K, H, M, and S. Add them up. Put the calculator down. Use your head.
16.
Is it 16?
It's 16.
Oh my God, this is so deep.
7. What's 7? Anybody know? In our system.
Study, rest, and perfection.
Study, rest, and perfection. 1. 7s are, and 7s are strange. 7s, this is your external. Look, you might not fit into a lot of social situations that you go into because 7s are individuals that look into situations and see the world in a different light. You're spending time studying rest of perfection, at least your external, what a lot of people perceive from you. So you will dress differently than other people. You will act differently than other people. You will be almost the opposite of a lot of people because you take the time to really look at things. At least this is how people see, right? So then when we get to your soul, what do we need to make it a 9? We got 2. Your soul, we look at the numbers, we got 2 1s and 2 9s. We can eliminate those 9s. Eliminate those 9s and come up with those 2 1s, which comes up to be 2. Inside, the driving force within you is cooperation. You're always seeking to make peace. So you, as a matter of fact, you and Deshaun got a lot in common as far as that internal peace. You're going to be, his is more family. Yours is more the diplomat. You're going to be a peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? You have that ability to be a peacemaker. As far as that's what the number 2 is about. It's all about cooperation. It's like a hook. It's able to pull things in. It's able to build networks. You know what I'm saying? So that's that number 2.
So,
who next?
Me. I just have a question about the inner and the outer. So, if I'm looking, the first thing I'm going to do is count up all my numbers. That's going to give me how people perceive
That's going to give you the whole. So, when you first add up all the numbers, they give you the whole power of the name. Which, like for example, with Kamisi, it was 9.
Okay.
Then we're going to have the external.
I always do the external first?
No, well, you don't have to.
Okay.
I'm doing I prefer to do external first.
Okay.
All right, then we got the internal number. And those two, the internal and external numbers, should add up to the total.
Okay. Got it. But I don't have to do how you were doing it when you were like, okay, what do I need to add to this? I really don't need to do that. I could just count my vowels.
Yeah, if you just want to know what the soul of the number is, yeah. But the soul, because how can I put it? The external, and it's like a coin. The 9 is the coin, on one side is the 7, on the other side is the 2. If you take away one, the other will not work. So this is the combination that makes up that 9. Because there's other combinations of 9. For example, you can have somebody that's a 9 that got a 6 and a 3. Or somebody with, instead of a 7 and a 2, they can have a 2 and a 7. It's like, it's different vibrations. You understand what I'm saying?
So my question is, on his Kamisi's name, he has 2 9s. Mm-hmm. If I'm just counting the vowels. But if I did the external first, I can't just count the vowels. I have to do it the opposite way.
If you're doing the externals, you just count the consonants.
Okay.
If you're just looking for the soul, you count the vowels.
So say I came up with the external first. Now, what was the step for me to figure out what my number for the soul would be?
Soul is are your vowels.
The soul is just the vowels. You don't need if you just look for the external or the internal, you don't need to have the other. If you just looking for that, right?
Say I'm looking.
Like for example, I want to see what makes this dude tick. All you gotta do is go to the vowel. A I. Now let me say this, because there's an infinite amount of ways to make the number 1, or the number 2, or the number 3. There's an infinite amount of ways to do it, because all these numbers are just representations of vibrations. And all these numbers break down into an infinite amount of representations of themselves. Right now, I could rattle off about 50 ways to show you a number 2. Because we said all the numbers in the universe are just representation of the first 9. So there's a whole lot of different ways that you could come up with the number 2, or the number 8, or the number 7. So now, when I was going through this for math's sake and time's sake, I was saying we could eliminate the 9s and just add the numbers. But when you're really exploring and you want to see somebody, or you really want to try to find out about somebody, add all the numbers up. Because that vibration that you're removing when you take out those 9 is going to influence the total number. You know, because when you read this, because right here, for somebody that's really good at this right here is giving you more information than just having that 9 right here. Me going through here and looking at these numbers, this is a vibration. As he said this is my binary code. This is his code. So when I add all these numbers up and just bring them to 9, what I'm doing is I'm belittling all of this. I'm speeding past all this. All this is a sentence. All this is the story of Kamisi. All these numbers right here. So when you really get good, you're going to be able to read that. I'm bringing it down here for simplicity.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
If you got more than one name, does that tell you more than one thing?
Yeah. All right. Your whole name speaks to you. Your name speaks to you. So you got a middle name, you got a last name, you got a first name, because think about it. How many of y'all know individuals, well, some of y'all in this room do it. How many of y'all got different names in different places? I come here, I'm Mr. Brown. I come here, I'm Hot Tim. I go to my mama's house, I'm OJ. You know what I'm saying? I go to the federal government to get audited. I'm somebody else. We all.
The name that will not be mentioned.
Wow. What is it? What is this picture of?
I'm sorry. Well, go ahead. Yeah, I got it. All right. But the point that I'm trying to make is we respond in different ways to different names. So that's why in Capoeira, and because this comes from the street, that's why in Capoeira, when you enter the ring, you enter as your fighting name, right? You don't enter as your business name. You have a fighting name. Just like in the streets, you got a street name. If you are really involved with the street, they're not calling you by your first name. They're not calling you by your government name. They're calling you by your street name. And when people hear your street name should let them know what you are capable of doing in the street.
What does the number 1 represent?
1 is interdependence. And everything, a 1 is somebody who has an ability to, 1, help everything run together. And if they are advanced number 1, they are able to recognize how everything works together. Go ahead. 0.
It represents unknown.
Right.
So when I have 30, I just take the 3 from 30?
All right. 0 actually in our system represents what? The hidden, which is the ancient name that the Kemites gave what? Huh? Amun means the hidden, doesn't it? What is Amun in the Egyptian system, in the Kemetic system? The supreme. So when you add a 0 to a number, because it does it in math. When I add a 0 behind a 1, it is no longer a 1, it it is transformed to the mighty number 10.
0 is the writer.
Is the who?
Writer.
0 is the power, dog. So when you look at 30, although it's 3, it's a different type of 3. You understand? Just like 300 is a different type of 3. When you add 0 behind a number, it multiplies it by a certain power. It gives it a certain power. Right? And 0 is what gives the number system the ability to jump from one level to another. Always. That's why civilizations that didn't have 0 had problems with math. Could you imagine us still trying to do math like this?
Wait. Whoa. Oh, okay.
That's Roman numbers. That's how they used to do it. How you know? Like
that's 11 times 30. No, plus 30. Plus 30.
Too much.
Plus 30.
So now I gotta go and work through all that. But when you throw a 0 into a system, what you do is you make it easier for it to make those transitions. 0 is a powerful number, dude. Alright, so it ain't just 0. It's never just 0. 0 is the hidden, and 0 represents that supreme power of the universe, that unknown power that will always remain unknown. And if you're able to tap into it, you might not know what it is, you might not know where it's coming from, but when you tapped into it, the sky's the limit.
How do I break it down then? How do I break 30 down?
What do you mean? How you break 30 down?
30
is 3. The essence of 3, right?
That's what I asked.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he asked if he just pulled the 3 from the 30.
Yeah, he pulled the 3 from the 30, but he asked about the 0 first. He concerned about the 0. Don't worry about the 0, but it ain't all that. It ain't that pressing. What I do, Deshaun?
I got you. Let me see if I got you.
Did you try like the top bar?
There you go. All right. Who else? So I can
Me.
Nah, Prophet.
Oh, Prophet was next?
Yeah, Prophet was next.
I didn't do your name yet?
No.
I thought I wrote it up on the
you
board.
started to. And then
Oh, okay.
You had to retract.
How I spell it? Same way?
Yeah, PROPHET.
Like Prophet. Right?
Yep. That's the one. That's the one who stole my lunch money right there.
You stole your own lunch money?
Stole my lunch money, my milk money, my cheese money.
P is what?
P is 7. R is 9. O is 6. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to wait for y'all, man. Y'all take it.
So you already know this by heart then? Why are you asking us to do it?
Because I want y'all to start doing the math. It ain't no good for me just to be able to do this. I need y'all to be able to do this. Somebody, one of y'all gonna do this, and I ain't gonna be standing up too much.
Tim, is the math universal?
42.
What?
44.
The system is it universal?
Yeah, it would pretty much work across all systems. I mean, we all got the same numbers. We just say them different. We got letters. I don't know Arabic numbers.
8.
44 is for your own research. You say this comes up to be 44?
Is it? Did you add it up?
Yeah, I did. Like a while.
Is it 44?
It's 44.
Sure.
I
44 is a master number. We won't go into that. That'll be another session. All right? But it comes down to be 8. So the total number is 8. You, my friend, are a power-hungry sucker. 8 is the number of power. Because now, listen, 8 is the representation of someone who is able to work, because it goes like this and goes up, and it's a constant flow. So you are able to bridge the difference between the heavens and the earth, the spirit and the material. You have that ability as a number 8. All right, this is the total. This is your total piece. One of the things that that will always ring true with you is that you're gonna have the ability to bring the material and the physical into balance. Now, but the piece of that is, what is the number 8 in our system? Anybody remember what it represents?
Infinity.
Power. So one of the things that you always is going to be seeking is power. That's infinity on the side when you flip it on the side. So when you flip 8 on the side, you got infinity, which is infinite power flowing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about you, and it's like a quest for some type of power.
But you also have
whether it's personal or whether it's over the world. Now I heard you talk.
Be aware of the 720 degrees that you're dealing with. The 360 degrees of negativity plus 360 degrees of positive.
So it's 8 black.
720.
Huh?
So it's 8 black.
What you mean? It's black like
so one circle is
like death?
360 degrees,
This
right?
is your soul.
360.
You could
Oh, I see what
you can look at it like
60
in some ways like that,
So
right?
720
But is death bad?
720 empowers in my name.
No.
How?
He said you need to be careful.
You need to be careful of the way the power is going.
Right.
Yeah, it's how you use it. It's not bad. It just depends on how you use it.
Right. All these numbers. See, the numbers are tools. Like you got a bow and arrow. You interested in bow and arrow? It could be a very good thing, or it could be a very bad thing, depending on what. So all these numbers, all they do is give us clues. It don't. See, when people come at you and be like they know your destiny and stuff like that, that's bull. Don't go for that, because the piece is you have been given certain pieces, and you have a choice on how you gonna put it together. You understand what I'm saying? How you put it together is how your life is gonna turn out. So when we look at the 8 is about power, bringing heaven and earth together, right in here. All that power flows, and depending on how you use it and how it's going to go. So this is the total external. Let's look at, this is the total number. Let's look at the external. X, 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 X. Add these numbers up with the X's.
16, 15, 31, 33.
Is it 33?
It's 33.
It ain't 33.
It's 33.
You can't have two master numbers, dog.
16, 16, 15, 2. 33.
Alright. So, now, you need to, when you get home, Google master numbers.
I'm scared.
Scared of your own name?
I'm scared of what
33.
I can do.
This is your external, which brings down to be 6. Family. So, a lot of people perceive that you are a family type person. You know how, or you have the ability, or your external, what people will see in you is somebody that has the ability to hold things together. You care for young people in some form or fashion, or older people. But like I said,
He's
what?
confused. I'm confused too.
What?
I got lost.
What?
Right, that is a little contradictory.
That
How?
seems a little contradicting right there.
How?
Because 44, basically 44, if that equals to 8, then basically you're saying that that's someone for like a power hungry sucker. Then in that case, wouldn't I really not care about anybody else but myself if I'm so power hungry?
Dude, okay, cool. Let me, historical question. Could Napoleon have done what he did by himself?
No.
No.
Not really.
I want you to name one conqueror. I want you to name one person that was truly power hungry, that was able to really do any of his plans by themselves.
Alexander the Great.
No, exactly.
I almost said Hitler.
Not even Hitler.
No.
Huh?
I said King George.
If he was King George III, he was king of somebody, which means he had people working with him.
That's right.
So power is ultimately about understanding networks.
Hannibal.
And understanding families. Hannibal wouldn't have made it to the Alps if not for the support that he received from all those soldiers that served up under his father. You best believe that. And then on top of that, talking to elephants and the men that's coming from a tropical environment to walk through the Alps in the middle of the wintertime there wouldn't have happened without being able to understand this.
Okay, well, do we have to mean needing somebody or something? Does that kind of say Hannibal wouldn't go on if he hadn't ate that person?
His name is Hannibal, not Hannibal.
He wouldn't have. If he didn't have the ability to network, if he didn't have, his power was based on his relationships with other people. Really, which is the basis of power. You understand what I'm saying? Because even when you look at history, those people who had the strongest connections usually are the ones that rise to the top.
So power and family were hand in hand.
Oh my God! Why do you think? Why do you think that the ancient Egyptians used to end? Really? Have you ever looked at how our family lines work?
Yes.
We would get to the point where it's like going. For example, if you was royalty, I would have already decided who you was gonna marry. I would have already decided whose family we was gonna combine with, because it wasn't about you. See, we the only ones in America, as far as people in America, we the only ones that truly believe in this rugged individualism. Everybody else is mastering the game as a group. That's why rappers go into the rap game and get raped. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about physical.
Whoa, I'm about to say.
No, they do get raped. According to some of the conspiracy, some do. But this is why when an individual think about this. Coming from the street, when I go into do business, I go into a place where individuals, a group of individuals, not one person, has already planned my destiny. How you gonna beat that? Institutions, people can't beat institutions. Institutions fight institutions. That's another reason why we are in the situation we're in right now as the people, because we don't have the institutions to battle the institutions that have been set up to keep us where we are. But go ahead.
I have a question.
I ain't done with you yet, but go ahead.
Okay, what if I had what if I combined 44 and 33 to make 77?
No, don't worry about that yet, because something else is about to happen.
Okay.
You need something, So you got 44 as a master number, you got 33. Now, remember this. The external is what people see. Alright? It's not necessarily what you do. Alright? And remember, for every good thing that I'm telling you, you also have to, for anybody whose number I'm doing, the numbers has a positive side and a negative side. I choose to focus on, I'm trying to balance it out. So let's go to the next number. So we got 6, 2, right? We need a 2, right? But now, what I want you to look at is, in your name, what is the total of the soul number? So take all of the vowels and add them up.
2.
It's 2, but what's the number before that?
1.
11.
Oh, no. Whoa.
Wow.
3 master. He has 2. Oh,
that's part of the confusion with you right now.
Is that
that's
a rarity?
This part of that. It's part of that. Huh?
I feel like that's a rarity right there. To have 3 prime number. 3 master numbers.
3 master numbers. Look up master numbers. But this is part of the conflict that you may be dealing with in your life, dog. It's sort of like I got a daughter who has a name that comes from this.
Why didn't I see it? No,
and her life is chaotic. I'm not going to say what it is because that's her business, but her life is chaotic. You have all these energies running through you. Everybody got energies, right? But your energies are settling in what's called master numbers. Now, they call master numbers because at those numbers, that's where you master a certain level of the game, which means that the tests for you are going to be a little bit more extreme than it is for everybody else. Congratulations, by the way.
That's why
now,
I'm struggling with a lot of
now, see, because now check this out. 2 is the number of what? Cooperation.
Cooperation.
Wow.
Cooperation.
Ooh, wow.
Isn't that ironic?
No, it's not
but
necessarily
really,
ironic.
you think about what a prophet used to do, right? A prophet was supposed to go to a certain group and deliver a message that they have received because of a relationship that he had or she had with something bigger than themselves. And it would take it back to its family and communicate and try to get everybody else to cooperate. Because in certain traditions, a prophet was even more powerful than the king. As a matter of fact, the king couldn't move until the prophet told him that it was okay with God.
So that's why he's always so confident about getting organized. Okay, I see.
Would you say a prophet and a griot was like a similar thing?
Griot would be a little bit different. A griot was the one that kept the history. A griot didn't necessarily, you don't need a spiritual connection to be a griot. in the sense that, in a way, a prophet does. Because now, a prophet bring the wrong information, he through. You understand what I'm saying? Rio could mess up a song, and he's not going to die. Maybe. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the same raw. But actually, like I said, some of these words, once we're looking at the numbers, at least looking them up, when you start looking up the words and comparing the words and what their duties are to the numbers, it'll start blowing your mind.
He said duty.
All right. Who next?
Me.
Nah,
wait, you straight, prophet? You done ran away.
Nah.
He said, "Are you straight?"
Come on.
Yeah, I'm good.
You want to hit?
No, I don't want to
It was
hear.
him.
No, it's my turn.
It was him.
It's my turn.
Go ahead.
It was his turn.
Okay, J, A, B,
V,
B,
B.
As in boy.
A, R, I. 1 1 2 1
Wait. 1 1 2 1.
Say what?
1 1 2 1 9 9.
I'm
Well,
pretty
you
sure.
already get your. All right. Give me your pattern.
Okay.
Give me the total number.
19.
The total number, even with the nines in.
Yeah.
18. No. It can't be because that's 18.
Now.
18 on
Is
the
it 18 or 19?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
It's 23.
It's 23.
Ooh, somebody's math is off.
So it's 4, 5. 23 is 5.
Yeah, 23.
Oh, yeah.
It's 23.
23, all right.
I'm not sure.
See, I
I'm
got
about to give you the significance of the number 19.
I forgot that.
2 plus 3 is 5.
Oh, I messed up.
So the total is 5. Freedom. Mr. Free Guy, right? Alright. Looking for freedom. That's this your total piece, your total as a being is somebody that's striving for freedom. In every sense of the word. You want to be, because it's like you might like to be alone. Number 5. 5s are really hard to read. But the key piece of it is seeking freedom. Hopefully you're seeking financial freedom. Spiritual freedom. You just want to be able to express you. You know what I'm saying? In the best light. So let's look at the
Outside, 3.
It's a what?
3.
But what's the total number?
12.
Communication. Externally, people see you as the great communicator. Maybe somebody that could possibly debate, but you're able to, at least the external part of you says that you have the ability to communicate ideas, share information, even listen to people well. You know what I'm saying? So people might look at you and see somebody that they can really, that they want to talk to.
No,
So, and we need, 2 more. Your soul is
The
cooperation.
soul is a master number.
Is it?
Yeah, 11.
So you need to look up those master numbers. And now, let me. How you read a number? So when you're looking at single digits, we got that number. So we're looking at a 21.
21.
All right. This is how you read that. 21. We got cooperation. You're on the level of cooperation, but you have to figure out how to master cooperation through interdependence. So when you're looking at the numbers, when you're in the 20s, the 20 is all about cooperation. But you're going through the nine different ways of mastering the number 2. You understand what I'm saying? 21. Cooperation through interdependence. 22. Cooperation through cooperation. Cooperation through communication. You're going right back through the process. You understand? So when you look at the numbers, so for example, master number, interdependence through interdependence. I don't know how you do that. Maybe that's why they call it master number. But the soul of you is one that strives to bring cooperation. But it also could be the opposite. What's the opposite of cooperation? Always remember, all numbers have has a duality. So we got cooperation, then we got the possible little asshole who might be starting trouble.
Not my baby.
Not your baby.
No,
But
wrong
we
child.
have to make sure. We have to make sure that when we're looking at this stuff, that because how can I put it? Because what happens is like when you go to some people, they only tell you the positives. I want to make sure that everybody know that when you're dealing with this stuff, we're dealing with a duality. So we're gonna deal with the science. Let's deal with the whole science. You know what I'm saying? But a peacemaker, diplomat, somebody that one. And what you got really going good for you is your external and your internal do not clash. So somebody that is based, whose soul is based on cooperation, one of the best things you can have is an external where people already view you as a communicator. You know what I'm saying? So you had the ability to communicate peace. You dig it?
Yeah.
Great responsibility, right?
Define interdependence through interdependence.
Define interdependence through interdependence.
Define or
to find.
I have something to add to that.
Go ahead.
So I too had diplomat or communication, the number 3 for myself. And what you just said about there being a negative and positive side, what I get is that I am very vocal, and sometimes my willingness to speak out can be seen as confrontational. My willingness to speak out and voice my opinions can be seen or construed by some that I think I know it all and not that I just want to know it all. It can seem as though I am being combative at times, argumentative. So I see what you're saying, but for me, I feel like oftentimes my intentions are good. It's the way it's perceived by others. So I just wanted to say that I get what you're saying about this number 3 as far as communication, how our numbers can have both like a positive or negative, because I do know that I see my willingness to speak up and communicate. I think that these are great attributes about me. However, I see that they also are part of the issue that I have with people, because I'm so willing to speak up, and sometimes that can rub people the wrong way as far as how they interpret it.
It sounds like a Capricorn to me.
Who, myself?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually a Pisces. Like,
whole different system.
Wow, that sounds completely like my mama too.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, anybody else want me to do? All right. Now this is what I need. We got to start eating because I got to leave at 6. So I'll keep on working while we eat and start closing it out. I'm gonna let this brother go, then I'm gonna let brother Will go. Go ahead.
Azariah.
You straight?
Yeah.
What does Jabari mean anyway?
Strength and courage.
Who? Go ahead.
Azariah. A-Z-A.
A-Z-A.
R-I.
R-I-A-H. I'm sorry. That's it?
Yep. 1.
Uh-oh. Got somebody ready. Go ahead.
181.
Did he tell what numbers are assigned? What letters before?
Oh, wait, no. It's A-Z-A-R-I-A-H.
R-I.
Yeah.
You just write down the numbers. If you can, you know what I mean? Just write down 1 through 9 and do it like that.
R-I.
Yeah, A-H.
You need.
Your number breaks down to a 1 real quick. But what's the total? 37? Is it 37? Now the transactions that you make to get to the single digit also means something too. One, interdependent. So now, interdependent means as when we talk about interdependence, because when I first started doing numerology, they used to be like the number one was independence, and it's like that became problematic for me because for something to be there's almost nothing independent in the universe. You understand what I'm saying? Everything in the universe works together. The tree works with the ground works with the grass works with the rain. I mean, it's this big cycle. So interdependence means that you have the ability to one get a basic understanding, or interdependence is hard. As a one,
being able to see those connections in relationships.
Being able to see the connections in a relationship, see how everything works together. You know what I'm saying? And be able to almost go anywhere and be able to fit. Because, like, for example, the mathematical function of a 1, when you take 1 and you multiply it to anything, what happens to the 1? One has the ability mathematically to morph into almost any other number. So you have the ability to fit into any situation that you truly want to. You can morph yourself and not change your face, but you can morph your personality to fit in almost any situation that you want to. It's sort of like James Bond, spy type stuff, you know what I'm saying? But your transition from 3 and 7 to 1 and 0 to 1 will give us a little bit more, but I'm not going to run through all that. All right? And you got a lot. I mean, this right here, that says a whole lot right there. All right, so now, the 1, let's get to your external. What's that? Add it up. 17, 8, 25. Externally, you are the 7. We spoke about the 7 already. That different dude. Alright? Study rest of perfection. Now, I want you to understand the reason 7 is different is because 7 has like a 9. Because 7, when you look at the numbers, 7 is one of the high numbers that looks back over all the other numbers. 7 is always known as a studier. So a 7 is different because, how can I put it? A 7 is outside of everything else because 7 is not looking towards the future. 7 is looking back at the past to make sure that everything is right. So a 7 is a studier, so you don't fit in with everybody. Well, everybody else is worried about now. Everybody else is worried about the future. You're studying the past. You're not worried about the past. You're studying the past. So a 7 is different. So those of you that when I was talking about that 7 is you're not striving to fit in with everybody. You know what I'm saying? At least you're external. At least that's the view that people have of you. You're different. You do things differently. So now your internal will have to be what? You get a 1. 3. What's the whole number will be? 1, 2, 11, which breaks down to 2, 11, 12.
Well, if it's just that,
Communicator.
What can I do?
Inside you're a communicator. I mean, your soul, that means that you have the ability to get ideas across. All right? You strive to be heard, and you also possibly are a good listener. All right? Any others? Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Let me give y'all your homework first. Yeah, I got homework. I'll be right back. Who want that? Willie.
Where's the kid?
Come write your name up.
I got him. I got it. Well, I just got it right now.
We'll put it up. Put the numbers up. Yes, sir.
Is there such thing as 7? I mean, is there such thing as 0?
Definition of
All right, now homework. Even though we didn't get to cover what I wanted to cover. All right, what I have is my goal. Hey, where y'all going?
These aren't for you. These are for the little ones. Can you put them at the table?
I say homework and everybody leave. Look, you question go. Alright, now, what I'm trying to do is get y'all symbol literate. Being able to read symbols. Now, I had instructions, and this comes from a book that I put together with a bunch of proverbs. What I want you to do is, at least before you get back next time, is to look at the quotes and the proverbs and break them down using the method that I get instruction of in the book. Y'all got it? Alright, cool. Y'all got it?
Yeah.
Alright. Here go the homework. Don't leave without it. Alright. Willie, where we at?
We need a little place for him.
Is it 33?
Because you feel like if not, they're not going to understand why I've been teaching so long. And
That is my choice.
Who's family man?
That's what you're saying.
Overall.
Is there other than that that's good?
That all little kids?
Oh, we need one more little plate for Sasha.
And Gigi.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Cooperation next time. Somebody that they work with. Cooperate with, but at the same time, I may rub them and
When we leave, ask me about this phone one more time.
The first two.
Can I go with those
I don't know. We don't know yet.
You don't know.
we got 9,
What's my middle name?
18,
So he was in 7. I was in 7. You were 7. The first two. Because I did your first two. I don't know how to do the soul part. I did your first two, your internal episode. See, that's right there, bro. First one is 62, yeah. Added all the way up to 16, 7. Then I did the consonants of your letter. So the boy with this one plus L, which is 2, plus the other L. 7. The study. What did you do study? Yeah, that's you.
we got it. So this, one of these numbers is wrong. Y'all told me 33. Y'all sure it's 33?
Yeah, you do need to
14, 17, 20, 29, 29, and 5 is what? 34. Because I was thinking that if you had 2 master numbers, you have to have 3. You got to have it. Yeah. That's why I was like, you can't have 2. You can't just have 2 master numbers.
Right. That might be the whole month.
Yeah, he hurt my feelings. You better believe she remember everything.
She block out some stuff. And she can do that because she's
It's the lower side.
No. Depends on what you do. You better do some that she get to forget.
Oh, that's here. On the other side. I can feel it. I'm telling you. You should probably tell her to do something this way.
Your mom. Right. We mamas and we can feel it.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, no, this is the external. This which is made up of 23.
Yeah, we got that one back.
But when you look it up, you might as well do your own number. Huh? You want to do her? Your phone.
Mom, that was playing on a computer.
Tell him he cannot be on those computers. Go tell him again. Tell him to come get something. Tell him to get away from the computer. He's going to get me murdered.
You better go fast before it dies.
No.
You can do it. You know you how.
All right, this thing here.